tell you how excited I am for this panel. I have been thinking about this panel for weeks since they said I had the chance to do it. My name is Craig. I'm with the Front Row Network in NPR, Illinois, and I hope you've been having a great con. How's your con been? Awesome. So I tell there's a movie coming out this fall. Who's excited for Clerks 3? Yeah. Yes. All right, I'm going to stop talking so I can bring out the cast of Clerks 2 and now Clerks 3. Brian O'Halloran. Come on out, Brian. We have, looks like Trevor Furman next. And Jeff Anderson.
Hello, St. Louis. For a second, I didn't know if I got the city right. So you're like,
Trevor, we're in Cleveland.
Check that.
It's funny. Check. Hello?
There we go.
Well, it's funny because they have a screen here telling us the city we're in, which is awesome. So
It really is very large, yeah.
thank you for putting the lights on so bright that we can't tell how many people are not in the audience. And for those who are here, thank you. And for those who are stuck in Kevin Smith's line for autographs, oh well.
yeah, we were trying to figure out like the Venn diagram here. Like, how many people are like want to see us talk but don't want to get Kevin Smith's autograph? So it doesn't add up to me. We're really big fans of Jeff and Brian. Kevin, take a really good.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm so excited that you're all here, and I feel like this panel can write itself in a little bit of a way in that I can just say 2 words, and then that helps start us off. And so I'm just
Donkey show?
Donkey show. You were surprised by how hot that mic was?
So's the donkey show.
I personally was going for fuck off, but that's just right.
They just heard that in the other panels, and they're like, donkey show? We gotta get over here.
The whole room cleared out.
No, of
The
course.
next thing you know, a whole bunch of furries walk in. What?
Of course. Clerks 3 coming out this fall. It's so great. So can you tell us about being able to, and I know you don't want to spoil anything, but I want to know about the band coming back together. It was a COVID production, so you had to be a little bit, well, I don't know. How was that kind of a set versus anything else you've ever been able to do with Clerks? So Brian, maybe start with you. What was your experience like coming back to Clerks 3?
Well, it was great when Kevin asked us to be a part of it, and there was an attempt of a Clerks 3 about 7-8 years ago of a much darker script that we wound up shooting, and it didn't go anywhere just because there were certain producing aspects of it that didn't want to get done. You know, Jeff wasn't really on board.
Actors that didn't want to be in it.
Jeff wasn't on board with it.
There were certain ass
Back to
specs
it.
of the.
I was not too, like, I was kind of weirded out by the script as well. But then come a couple of years ago, and Kevin readdressed it and redid it, and we were able to do it, and which is great. So we did it last year during COVID. Each one of us had the cleanest nostrils for at least 6 weeks, as every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we had a big barbed swab come up our nose and test us. We didn't shoot on the weekend, so the Monday test was always the one you sweated, because you went out and had dinner in places or went to a comedy club or whatever, and that's the one we were like, whew, nobody got it. So
Yeah, Jeff, what about you coming back to set for Clerks 3?
It was scary. No, it was really bizarre being back in the store. That store is like frozen in time, so it was a little weird. The only thing that's changed about the store is they sell pot paraphernalia now. That was a new wrinkle to the store.
I wonder why, right?
Yeah, why is that? But yeah, Brian was talking, we filmed during COVID, and they had, at some point, they would only allow a certain number of set people to go into the store. And there was a scene that Brian and I were doing, and we're on camera, and you know, after you shoot the scene, Kevin would be watching it from way back wherever on the monitor. So it would take a few minutes for him to watch it. At one point, the COVID police made me leave. I'm on camera, I'm like, I have to go out of the room. Isn't there a grip or something that can leave? Yeah, I got kicked out of the store.
Nice. Okay. Trevor, what about you? Talk about your experience.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like that movie Ocean's 11 when Kevin had to assemble a ragtag group of misfits. You know, I was working as like a stevedore, and I was like, Kevin, you son of a bitch, I'm in. No, I don't know. It was weird for me too, but it was really fun. I mean, I hadn't been an actor for 16 years, so it was a little strange.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you do in like your day job, and how does that relate to? Are you able to kind of bring that back? You're in IT, right?
I'm a programmer. I'm an engineer, and that doesn't relate at all.
So, but is that a cool story to be able to bring to someone to be like, oh yeah, I'm just in this, Clerks 2 film?
Yeah, it makes me feel like a big man. Kind of like I get to lord it over everybody at work. And then they see the movie and they're like, you should probably not keep bringing that up. I mean, we've talked to HR and they're strong. You need to contact a lawyer.
But from what I remember, you did build the Transformers website, right? Optimus Prime?
Yes. Sure. Yeah, I remember that, I guess.
So I had the chance to speak with Kevin a couple days before Comic-Con and to promote it, and I asked him, what question do you ask your cast about? And he just said in the most earnest way, he said, was I any good? So I want to change that a little bit in that, Brian and Jeff, you had a chance to basically see his entire career at this point. Can you talk about how he's evolved as a director from Clerks to now Clerks 3? Jeff, you want to take it first?
Sure. He's pretty much the same. I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to say it. He's, he creates a very easygoing set. So we have a lot of fun, and he's gotten more popular, but he's kind of the same guy. We shoot just the same as we shot Clerks, except he's awake for a lot of stuff now.
He's a lot higher these days.
He is a lot higher.
Now, because when you shot Clerks, you had to do those overnights, right? Because the store was open during the day. So that had to be a little bit of a different experience as well. But Brian, what about you? How do you see the evolution of Kevin's career from start to now?
Well, you see it literally in the writing first off. Like every script that he finishes, the next film that he makes, the next script, you can see it build off what he had learned from the first one, and then the second one, and the third, and so on. So what's great about the third Clerks is it's the best of what people loved about the very first film, this very small slice of life, the day of the life of these two clerks, but added the second one where our world expanded to involve people like Rosario Dawson as Becky and Trevor Furman as Elias, and so you see them again for the third one, and then just the heart of it all, like if anybody remembers the jail scene from the second one where this man crushes it and gives you a big poke in the feels, there's a lot of that in this script too. So as a writer is where the most of his growth is. As a director, he now keeps an eye out for the actor's point of view on a lot of things, which in the beginning it was just like, just say my words and let's get this right kind of thing. He's never said it that way. But that was the kind of
intention. Yeah, he's wrong. He's a tyrant.
So,
he beats me with a sock filled with quarters.
He used to do it with love, and it was just oranges. He'd just hit you with a bag of oranges. So that kind of change has been amazing to see in him as well. And the fact that now, he has his daughter working with him, and she's just amazing to work with. And other people now, they want to really work with Kevin a lot. There's a lot of people who just like, I totally want to work with Kevin. I like his dialogue. His dialogue is usually the star of his writing.
I mean, after me, it goes me and then his dialogue. Everybody else.
It's really meaty dialogue. So as someone that isn't necessarily an actor full time, how do you adapt to just like chewing on that Kevin Smith dialogue?
Cue cards.
Cue cards.
And a little ear thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I like, I guess it's never been too, maybe I'm just lucky I can memorize lines, but I think it's just that I think they're funny, so I want to get them right. I'm not really sure. I don't feel like it definitely didn't answer your question at all.
No, you did. And actually, what's really funny is in talking to him, he said, you have to make sure that everyone knows Trevor's the smartest person in the room.
No, he's fucking with you.
He said I had to lead a question with just Orson Welles loves magic, ...
I'm never going to let this shit down. So we were in New Jersey last weekend during the 25th anniversary of the Secret Stash, and I was in the car with him and Jen, his wife, and their friend Vinny, who's another really nice dude. And I started going off on this rant, as I sometimes want to do, about this Orson Welles weird movie called F for Fake. And it's really good, and I just, when I get kind of interested or excited about something, I just don't shut up about it. I'm sort of as if I'm high, the one that's high. And and I was just going on, and there's this, Orson Welles, it's kind of like how I am right now. Anyway, I was going on and on about it, and Orson does magic tricks in it, and so I think Kevin has laid a booby trap for me by planting that seed in your brain.
Oh
So
yeah,
thanks a lot.
absolutely.
Thanks, Kev. Best friend middle.
I could see how you could chew on his dialogue, though. Yeah, it's really great. No, so I also want to ask about those fan interactions that you had. Now, Brian, you mentioned that you've been talking about this film for about 30 years now. So in that time, this independent film becomes so important in so many people's lives. So can you account for us some of the experiences you had being able to speak to your fans and speak to fans of the movie and sort of what impact that's had on you personally?
It's really great over the years. Like I've been doing these kind of Comic Cons and Horror Cons and stuff since like 2009 or so. And so in meeting fans and now as years gone by, like today even, I was like a dad talking about how he just showed it to his son, and his son really likes it, and this generational passing down of something that we just did over a spring in '93 that we just thought we would only get a VHS copy of when it was finished to show friends, like this is what we were fucking around with in the middle of the night when you thought we were doing porn.
To be fair, you were also doing porn.
A little bit. Well, that was the cut scenes, but they were very short. Anyway, so it's been nice to be able to talk to fans who really enjoy it, but it also is, we've been very blessed to have someone like Kevin Smith be also very prolific in making more films after that and developing, a cinematic universe before the Marvel cinematic universe, where if you watch Clerks, if you watch Mallrats, then Chasing Amy and Dogma and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and then Clerks 2, and then the reboot, and now hopefully this fall the Clerks 3. It's this storyline that you just see these guys over, a couple of decades, see where they're at, and it reflects these people that people can relate to. You've either worked retail or worked some shitty ass job that you were overeducated for yet underemployed, or you've been into an establishment like these fucking guys don't know what they're doing at all. So I think that's where the relationship and relatability is.
Now I want to go to Jeff, but also I want to mention, because I mentioned how much this film and these films have had an impact on fans. So if you have questions, I'd love for you to start lining up at the microphones. I want to save